Kids away from their video games can seem impossible, but is it a sign of a disorder?
And go to a restaurant and pick up some service with a smile and a song. We will explain.
This is News Center Now.
If you played hooky from work to go to the beach today, you picked a pretty good day to do it. But now some storms are brewing across our state. Good evening, everybody. I'm Lee Goldberg.
And I'm Lindsay Mills. We currently have a severe weather watch warning, and Keith Carson's off, so the lovely Jessica Conley joins us with a first look at the forecast. Hey, Jess.
Hey, guys. Yeah, it's been a busy afternoon here. We were tracking a few possible tornadoes earlier. Now we have a severe thunderstorm warning right here that affects parts of southern Oxford County, parts of western Cumberland County, and northern York County. We'll zoom in a little bit so you can see what's happening with this one. Wind gusts up to 70 miles an hour are possible within this storm. That includes the Sebago area, over to about Raymond, down to Leamington. That includes Parsonfield. Freedom, New Hampshire, or just over the border from Freedom, New Hampshire, that was Porter. It has moved through that area now. Here you can see, let me get out of the way. Here you can see the towns. It'll affect Fry Island by about 5:11. That's within the next 10 minutes or so. Wyndham by 5:18. Falmouth and Freeport, if it holds together and makes it a little bit closer to the coast, it'll be there closer to about 5:30 or 5:45. Again, within this storm, we have wind gusts possible up to 70 miles an hour. That could definitely bring down trees and power lines, unfortunately. Lots of rain and some lightning as well. So we do have severe thunderstorm watches in effect for Androscoggin, Cumberland, and also York County. Those are in effect through 10 o'clock tonight. That means there is the potential for severe weather there. And of course, we've been seeing it for the past few hours. We'll take a look here. As we go to the next hour or so, we'll continue to see those storms move off to the east, and they'll keep doing that as we go into tonight as well. So guys, we're keeping an eye on it here. And of course, we'll have more updates for you coming up in a few minutes.
All right, Jess, thank you very much. We'll talk to you soon. Our immigration and custom enforcement officers searching Maine buses for illegal or undocumented immigrants.
Christina Rex is here to verify.
Yeah, Lee and Lindsay, you've probably already seen these headlines on Facebook. ICE agents caught on video asking bus passengers if they're citizens. Not only is that headline wrong, everything happening in that video is actually legal. Border Patrol agents, not ICE, are scanning public access points like the bus station, and Concord Coach has no choice but to let them. In fact, these bus station patrols have been happening for more than a decade. Officials say what's changed is the public's hyper-awareness to border security techniques.
Are you folks doing U.S. citizens?
Border Patrol.
Not answering my questions yet.
Questioning passengers at the Bangor bus stop, looking for drug smugglers, human traffickers, even terrorists.
There's been more frequency in the last 6 months than there was in the past.
Concord Coach Line's president Harry Blunt has seen an uptick in unannounced visits by Border Patrol, one that senior agent Dennis Harmon says is due to a shift in manpower, not a change in national policy.
Absolutely not. There was nothing ever put out that says, go out and increase your bus transportation checks.
Harmon says checks can be random and routine or due to a tip. Either way, Border Patrol's presence is always unannounced.
They don't coordinate with us, they just show up.
Agents patrolling bus lines on May 28th, catching a longtime Concord Coach employee by surprise.
You don't have to be a U.S. citizen to take this bus. Yes.
Wrong. You do not have to be a citizen to ride the private bus line.
He was not aware that anybody was filming at the time, and was thrown this question that he answered wrong. There's no doubt about that.
That fact is one that Massachusetts resident Alec Larson wants to see clarified. He recorded that viral video.
They should also make very clear to their customers that they do not need to be a citizen in order to purchase a ticket.
He never expected his video to get millions of views, but he says he's glad attention is being drawn to what he calls unfair citizenship checks.
I think that normalizing active resistance to these bodies and these policies is important. So I'm glad that the video had reach on that account.
Agent Harmon says Border Patrol is doing its best to enforce safety for Mainers. And Concord Coach's president says these checks are out of his hands.
We have not been involved in this decision. This is a federal law that we're trying to live with. Would we be just as happy as if it all went away? Sure we would be. But we'd wish that 9/11 had gone away also. And security and safety of our passengers is very, very important. And our employees are concentrating on that.
So in that video, you can hear a passenger refuse to answer the Border Patrol agent. So what are your rights if a law enforcement officer questions your citizenship? Now, the law states that every non-citizen over 18 shall at all times carry documents explaining how he or she is here in the U.S. Now, we spoke with an immigration attorney as well who says that everyone does have the right not to answer that question about his or her citizenship. But if you choose to not answer and not provide those documents, you do run the risk of being detained or being arrested.
Well, it's a big topic. Everybody's talking about it online, and obviously that headline and that video, you think if you don't do some more research that, oh my gosh, so
Right.
glad
To
we
get
checked
some
that
answers
out.
nailed down.
Absolutely. Great. Thank
Christina,
you.
thank you. Okay, people who compulsively play video games could soon be diagnosed with a mental health disorder.
Yeah, the World Health Organization has officially added gaming disorder to its international classification of diseases. That means doctors can diagnose and offer treatment to someone who has the condition. The WHO says the gaming disorder is characterized by an impaired control over gaming, an increasing priority given to gaming over other activities, and the continuation or escalation of gaming despite the occurrence of negative consequences. It's important to note that the American Psychiatric Association has not recognized gaming addiction as a mental illness.
And now that video game addiction has been classified as a disorder, it could actually open the door to some treatment options. That's according to Dr. Jeffrey Barkin, who joins us now. Dr. Barkin, how do you tell the difference between, a kid or maybe an adult who loves playing video games and someone who is truly addicted? What are the symptoms?
I worry a whole lot about stories like this when they come out because a lot of people play video games. 2/3 of children and adults in the U.S. play video games. A lot of people play video games without any problem. The issue is a very, very small number of folks have noted an inability to control their video game use. It's not unusual that when you have a behavior that people use more and more, over time you see problems. So this gaming disorder is the latest diagnosis. The goal is never to stigmatize somebody who likes to play games because they're so popular and so ubiquitous, but by having a diagnostic code, it makes it so that for the few people who have had difficulty essentially becoming addicted to video games, they can get treatment, and the treatment can be paid for and billed to insurance companies. That was really the goal. This happened in Europe, actually, not in the United States. The American Psychiatric Association looks at gaming addiction as a possible diagnosis and recommends studying it further, and it has since 2013, when the most recent version of the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual came out. That said, kids who can't control, or really anybody, adults too, who can't control or inhibit their use of video, can't control the amount of time, intensity, and frequency, and who continue to use despite negative consequences, particularly associated with impaired function, can't do school, can't work, can't maintain relationships, those are the folks to worry about, not people who are enjoying playing video games on a 95-degree day.
Now, how do you go about treating it? I mean, if you can determine that they are, running into these issues in their life due to the video game use, how do you treat it? Where do you go from there?
The most important thing to know from reviewing all of the literature, and there isn't a whole lot of literature because gaming disorder isn't technically a disorder in the United States, but from looking at the literature, a lot of the folks that develop problems have comorbid or co-occurring mental health disorders, difficulty with attention, concentration, or depression or anxiety. As one gamer said to me, playing a video game offers an opportunity to be somebody else and enter a world that's a whole lot better than this one. So you have to understand that there is a psychiatric diagnosis operative, carefully diagnose it and carefully treat it. And that's the thing to really be aware of. It's not that somebody or your children or your friends are playing a lot of video games. That's normal in contemporary standards. It's that it impairs their function. Those are the ones to worry about. The ideal treatment removes other mental health disorders, identifies them and treats them. More aggressive treatment for gaming disorder has included sort of conventional addiction treatment, being away from the stimulus and into a more social environment.
Very good. We'll have to continue to watch and see the developments in the research as it evolves. Dr. Barkan, thank you so much for joining us. Stick around because he's going to be answering your questions during the next commercial break, so join the conversation on YouTube and Facebook. So kids and many adults, they enjoy video games, but for one gamer, it was about so much more than taking a break from the daily grind. It was about raising awareness for an important issue.
Maybe 6 or 7 years old, we got a Nintendo Entertainment System, an NES. We gotta come back from this. Got it for Christmas, you know, it came with Duck Hunt, came with Super Mario. 2 again.
Zeke Pendexter remembers getting started playing video games with his dad and sisters.
It was family time, you know. There we go, shut him down. NBA Jam for N64, oh man.
It's something he still enjoys.
When we get home, we wanna relax. I go upstairs, I start playing video games, you know, just wind down from the day.
I've seen that, and I thought that was particularly interesting.
Pendexter and many others use the streaming site, Twitch. It's like YouTube for gamers, or streamers as they're called.
It's always been a dream of mine to play video games and entertain people.
Every now and then a big streamer would do a charity stream.
He never thought using the platform to raise money for a good cause,
There's the National Alliance on Mental Illness,
would be personal.
One of my really good friends growing up committed suicide not too long ago.
Pendexter says he's seen streamers raise tens of thousands of dollars for charitable organizations, and NAMI is just one example.
There are a lot of streamers out there raising money and doing very good things by, you know, just playing video games. Getting stomped.
And for someone who grew up playing video games like Pendexter, while the technology has evolved to become a more powerful platform, sometimes it's also good for going down memory lane.
Clutch! Nice.
Now, gaming aside, are you one of those people who just can't seem to put down your phone?
Guilty.
I wasn't saying anything, I was just looking at you. Apple is rolling out some new features that are aimed at helping you out.
That's right. Digital Health will let you check and keep tabs on how much time you use your phone throughout the day and how often you use those apps. It's expected to launch as part of Apple's new iOS 12 operating system software update. Google will also show soon consumers how much time they spend in an app on an Android phone. So we want to know, are you addicted to your smartphone, do you think?
Well, go to your smartphone and log on to pulse.newscentermaine.com and vote. Join the conversation now on YouTube and on our Facebook live stream as well.
Touche. Okay, well, when News Center now continues, we hear from Meghan Markle's dad for the first time about missing his daughter's royal wedding.
And a little bit later, a Buffalo Wild Wings in Topsom is attracting a lot of customers, but it's not just about the food. You're going to want to see this.
All right, everybody. Dr. Barkan, come on over. So, I know, Lee, you have some questions, too, that you would like to ask Dr. Barkan.
I guess, listen, as a parent of multiple children, but teenagers who play video games, I get super frustrated. I'm just like, my gosh, you've been playing this for 6 hours. It's 75 degrees out. Like, you know, don't you want to come outside? And you can't, other than physically dragging them outside sometimes, they're just like, all my friends are doing this right now. I am playing with my friends. This is just what we're doing. I think, am I crazy that that's not normal? Is that actually normal? Am I just an old fuddy-duddy, like all of the above?
I think it's normal for that age group.
Yeah.
I would go
normal
crazy.
For the age group.
And I don't like 95-degree days either, but I would go crazy being in my basement, looking at a TV screen, manipulating it all day. I would go nuts. But I know that for the generation below me, my kids and their friends, it's completely normative. On a pure health level, the thing I really worry about is the lack of activity and the association of increased gaming with decreased outdoor time and movement time, and the strong association with obesity and cardiovascular disease in particular. And that's just not good. So I think as a parent, we should be concerned getting kids out. I think really all kids should play a sport and do an extracurricular at all times. Yet video games is a way of playing, and kids are meant to play.
And that's how he's always. That's how he's always responding. Is, you know, Dad, I said, go play with your friends. This is where my friends are. So when I was a kid, my friends, it was kickball, it was out in the street, it was dodgeball. Yeah. For this generation of 13, 14-year-olds, it's Fortnite or whatever they're doing. So.
Exactly. I want to get real quick to some people on Facebook. Yeah. So Lawrence asks, I wonder what kind of meds they will give children for this. I mean, is this something that's going to be medically treated in that capacity?
Well, I think that for those very, very few people who might have and a gaming disorder that's more of an obsessive compulsive disorder. And that's an important thing to tease out, because these are not a spectrum of playing too much video game. These are disorders. And people can have obsessive compulsive disorder, where an obsession is a repetitive thought. Somebody who has to count 2, 4, 6, 8, and they can't function. Compulsions are behaviors, right? And video games can be compulsive in the sense that you can't stop doing them. Compulsions and obsessions actually do respond to treatment. Medications like Prozac and Zoloft have been used for years for obsessive compulsive disorder, and it is quite possible that there'll be some very rare people who have obsessive compulsive disorder where the compulsion is expressing themselves as a video game, but I would think that would be extraordinarily rare. So hopefully we're not going to be medicating.
But there might be like one case out there, you know.
Jaden, with some sarcasm but with a point behind it, we should prescribe them a bicycle or maybe some imagination to get them outside. So.
I like both of those.
All right, thank you very much.
I know, thank you, Dr. Barkin. We are out of time. We really appreciate you being here, so thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Have a great day.
Have a nice one.
Yeah. You can leave your mic on that glass table right there. Yep. Thank you, Dr. Barkin.
Thank you. Good one.
And get them on retainer.
If you're a royal family fan like me, you know about this interview. Everyone's talking about it today. And for the first time since that royal wedding of Prince Harry and American actress Meghan Markle, Markle's dad is speaking publicly.
Thomas Markle did not attend his daughter's wedding at Windsor Castle in May due to a recent heart surgery. However, this morning he did speak with Good Morning Britain about the controversy that surrounded the tabloid photos where he was shown in, and the speech that he had written for the big day if he had been able to attend.
This was a presentation to me to change my image, because for the last year, photographs of me were always like derogatory. They would take pictures of my hand grabbing a beer. They'd take pictures of me getting in my car, taking the garbage out. They'd take pictures of me buying a toilet and making a big deal out of it. They take all kinds of pictures of me making me look negative. So I thought this would be a nice way of improving my look. Well, obviously that all went to hell. I couldn't be more proud of those two, and I think they'll do a fabulous job. I think they're great.
Now, Markle did say he watched the wedding on TV, as so many of us did, except for Lee.
-1. A man set off alarms after he climbed over a White House fence today.
And the man climbed over a security barrier on the south side of the White House complex between the Ellipse and E Street a little after 12 p.m. He dropped a backpack and was immediately taken into custody by Secret Service officers.
The Ellipse has been fully closed off, and the White House fence line and E Street are closed to pedestrians and vehicle traffic. D.C. police declared the bag safe at around 2:20 this afternoon. The man has been charged with unlawful entry.
All right, let's take a look at our pulse poll, shall we? Let's see. 64% saying yes, you guys are admitting that you are addicted to your smartphone, and 36% saying nope, you're not addicted.
Appreciate the honesty. I think the number, if you're being honest, that number's gonna be closer to about 80-20 by the time we're done. If you do want to weigh in, use your smartphone and log on to our mobile app. The irony there is hysterical. Or visit pulse.newscentermaine.com.
Okay. Well, after the break, Jess Conley rejoins us with a stormy forecast. You're talking about Dairy Queen, right? Okay.
She doesn't know, Jess. She doesn't know that was a personal insult to you.
Well, I know about Reds. Trust me. And
if you had put Nor'easter on there, Jess, you could have had some love there.
I know that Reds is a big deal. Every time I drive by, the lines are crazy.
No,
Jess,
Jaden, I totally get it.
Jess, you and I have something in common.
And
I have always worked in an ice cream shop too.
My 13-year-old, 14-year-old,
Brigham's
does play sports, 3 sports
It was like a New England thing. You can buy the ice cream in the grocery store.
I would have much harder time accepting all the video game time. But he does actually do a lot of other stuff. So that makes it easier, but it just drives me nuts. Drives me nuts.
Exactly. Sorry, guys. Digital diva Katie Ortiz just said she's not surprised that I worked in an ice cream store. She was making me laugh.
Deborah, that's a great question, too. How people can remember every secret trick in a video game but not homework. But here's the problem with that. I don't think that that's this generation, because I can remember every word to every like awful song from the 1970s, even if I haven't heard them in 30 years. But ask me what I have for breakfast, and I have no idea. So it's like I can relate to the kids who know every secret backdoor exit and entry to every video game, because I can remember words to songs from forever ago. And when I played video games a lot, I knew all the shortcuts. So I guess that says a lot about it.
Did you see Jarlin's comment here? She says, I always made my children go out to play, no video games after 6:30 p.m. And so the Zeke, who I talked to today, that was a rule in his house too. You know, he couldn't play until after homework was done, dinner was done.
Also. Yeah, and homework has to be done first, and it has to be visibly presented, not just, it's finished. Like, I want to see it. Not that I don't trust them, but I don't trust them.
Some households...
so I want to see it first, and then there's a cutoff time.
Some households change the Wi-Fi password every day, and you have to do a certain thing in order to get that Wi-Fi password.
That I love.
Yeah, like you have to do this, and I'll give you the password. You should do that.
That is a great idea.
These kids are like,
look who's taking parenting advice now from me.
Tips. That is huge.
Where's Keith when we need him, Jess?
I can't believe that my security department
I'm
has
always
not
in like a
thought of that.
parenting advice sandwich.
We
now
call
I'm
my
the
wife
one.
the social media manager of the household. So how did she not come up with that? All right, Lindsay, you outdid her.
Box is too tall for me.
All right, I have mixed emotions about today. It wasn't like sunny where you could go to the beach and just sit there and go like this, but it was just hot. And if I want if the heat's coming, give me the sun too. And
look, I can't. We can't please you every day.
I'm just saying, but shouldn't you?
That's what your job is.
But shouldn't you?
We're just trying to keep people safe tonight. I know it was gross though today. It was hot and humid, and now we have the showers and thunderstorms to deal with. Look at the high temperatures from today. Portland broke a record today. We made it up to 91 degrees. Yeah, clap for the record. It's pretty good. 86 was the high today in Lewiston, 80 in Augusta. But look at Bangor, 71. That's because the warm front just really took its time today. So people in northern and parts of eastern Maine are like, what are you talking about? It wasn't hot and humid, but in southern Maine and even in parts of central Maine, it definitely was. Clicker problems? All right, current temperatures. They've cooled off some. 82 right now in Portland, 73 in Augusta, 69. Currently in Bangor, 68 right now in Holton. So it's cooled off a few degrees. But let's talk about the storms that we're dealing with. The dew points are still high too, so it is humid. I mean, dew points in the upper 60s and lower 70s. That is definitely where you felt that humidity today. Line of showers and storms moving through. We had a severe thunderstorm warning earlier in parts of Oxford, Cumberland, in northern parts of York County. That has been dropped, which is good news because we were talking about the potential for wind gusts of 70 miles an hour. Now we're watching this next line of storms moving through the Sebago area right now with some lightning. Could still see strong gusty winds with this. We could even see some small hail. So just be aware, if you can hear thunder, make sure you are staying inside. That means you are close enough to that lightning to get struck, unfortunately. And it's not that line of storms that's going to end it. We have more showers and storms off to our north and west, so we're going to continue keeping an eye. Ryan is here with me as well. We still have severe thunderstorm watches in effect for all of the areas shaded in yellow in both Maine and New Hampshire, York County, Cumberland County, and into Androscoggin County as well. All right, so showers and storms continue to move east as we go through the evening tonight. By 11 o'clock, things really starting to quiet down quite a bit. And then by tomorrow morning, it clears up pretty quickly. Look at this, 5 o'clock tomorrow morning. We're in the upper 60s and lower 70s. We're going to see plenty of sun tomorrow. It's going to be gorgeous out there for the day tomorrow. High temperatures tomorrow will make it into the mid 70s. Then as we get into the day on Wednesday, just another gorgeous day. A couple clouds around, but high temperatures will warm up by 1 o'clock. We're close to 80 degrees pretty much statewide. A couple showers possible Wednesday night into early Thursday, but besides that, it is looking pretty good. Check out the forecast as we go through the week. Clearing out early tomorrow, then it's nice and bright, but definitely cooler and way less humid than today. By Wednesday, we're in the mid 80s. Thursday looks beautiful, nice and dry, with temperatures in the mid 70s. By Friday, it looks nice and sunny. And the weekend, couple chances for showers, but overall, we're looking good for the rest of the week.
We need to talk about Sunday.
Okay.
No pressure, but I can't have it rain on Sunday.
Why this time?
Well, graduation party's going on.
Okay, I was going to say, this is like
Sunday, part 2.
Sunday. Let's keep 2 eyes on it, all right?
And then request tonight, huh?
By then
that's all. Just one Sunday. Everything else is yours.
It's a tall order. At least he's not ordering ice cream from Red's.
Oh,
then you'd be in trouble.
That would be a good idea today, though, right?
Right.
Okay, ice cream.
All right.
I can't even talk now. Let's take another look at our pulse poll because it looks like, what? It's getting closer. 53% of you are saying that you are addicted to your smartphones. The other 47% of you are lying because you are addicted to your... No, just kidding. It's 53-47 yes. As of right now, you still have time to weigh in before the half hour comes to a close.
And join the conversation again on Facebook and YouTube. A lot of you talking about this story right now. Okay, a lot more coming up on News Center Maine at 5:30. Let's check in with Cindy Williams for that. Hey, Cindy.
Hey, guys. Hopefully nobody was holding their breath for the results of Tuesday's primary in the Democratic side of the governor's race. But it is looking like we might know the results soon. Don Kerrigan has our story ahead. Plus, China is adding a 25% tax on certain American goods, and that includes Maine lobster. The impact that might have on New England jobs and lobster prices here at home. That's all coming up in the next half hour. Back to you.
Thanks, Cindy. Braindrops. Well, not braindrops.
No.
A different surprise.
Yes. You're going to want to see this. I promise.
I meant to say not braindrops, a different surprise.
Yeah. Conditioned. It's like Pavlov.
Okay, everybody.
All right, kids. Yeah, there should be a lot of kapows. The thunder's getting closer. Thunder. Hear the thunder. Lightning and the thunder. What we got?
Jaden says, I use my phone when I'm waiting for my flights at work. I'm addicted. Am I addicted?
No.
I don't think so. I think,
you're good.
Dr. Barkin was basically saying if the usage interferes with like key parts of your life, then it's an issue. And that goes for anything.
Yeah, there's
it
a
could be
difference
anything.
between like having it be your go-to during your downtime if the first thing you do is reach for your phone. I would say that doesn't make you addicted.
Right.
If you can't do anything else because you're like, if you put off doing something else because you're in the middle of a video game or something like that, that might be a problem.
It might be. How many times, I asked this in the morning meeting today with our newsroom, how many times do you, like, are you on an app on your phone, you close out, and then like a second later you look down and you've opened it again? And you're like, what am I doing? Do you ever do that? No?
No.
I do it with Instagram sometimes. Some people said they do it with Twitter.
Yeah.
So maybe you're not addicted. That's an addictive behavior.
No, but I feel like the first thing I will do during downtime now is grab for my phone to read and see what's going on.
You like always have to be doing something. Right. Another one.
So there's just no, well, and this show is a lot like that. I mean, as soon as we go to commercial, the first thing we do, instead of take a 2.5 minute break, is talk to you guys. So like there's always something going on. So I'm just conditioned to not be sitting around doing nothing ever.
Yeah.
So.
Want to tell us about what we're about to see?
Okay.
Oh wait, Jaden says, so the guys that are late to offload the plane are addicted because they can't be bothered to check and see when the plane is in range. I think that's a joke.
So you guys are about to see a story that I thought was pretty unique, something we certainly weren't expecting, and I think that you will see the same when this story comes on. So it's about a young man who works at a Buffalo Wild Wings restaurant in Topsom. He's been there since they opened, which is just over a year ago now. And he is a unique waiter, and you're about to see his story.
Every once in a while, it's nice to be pleasantly surprised.
Right, isn't it? Get a little smile on your face. Yeah. It can happen at work. It can happen when you're home, but when you're out to dinner, not always, but one young man from Maine is putting some smiles on his customers' faces when they might least suspect it. When you walk into a Buffalo Wild Wings, you would expect to hear this.
Oh, you have a wing medium honey barbecue?
You probably do not expect to hear this. Meet Marcus Larrabee. The 20-year-old from Topsom has been serving up food since the restaurant opened a little more than a year ago. Shortly after, he began serving entertainment as well.
A friend of mine came in and they asked if I could sing, and I didn't see a reason why not. And then people just started coming in over and over again just asking me to sing, and that's when I just decided to go with it.
Growing up, Marcus wanted to be a country singer. After time in chorus and choir, he went to a vocal coach, and the country music dream was put out to pasture.
One day she just kept pushing me and pushing me and pushing me, and the noise just came out, and that was it.
Marcus, who now goes by the Singer Guy, has turned into a bit of a local celebrity, as some of his singing videos have racked up thousands of views.
I did sing at Target a couple weeks ago. I went in and they're like, hey, you're the Singer Guy, right? And I was like, yeah. And so I just sang for him, and I guess people were hearing me across the whole entire store.
We could not let Marcus go without making a personal song request.
Thank you for telling my story, New Center. Now I thank you. Is that good?
Wasn't that so good, right?
So
and we have our
good.
own personal Marcus jingle now in opera.
That's a wonderful
We can play that
thing.
over and over again.
I'm going to play
So
that
how do you
when I need
not
to pick
smile
me
if
up.
that guy's your waiter,
I
right?
know. It's amazing.
Well, we're
What a
gonna
great way to end the
smile
show.
our way out of here because New Center 5:30 is coming up right now.
Bye, Facebook. Bye, YouTube.
See you guys tomorrow.
Yes.
Peace.
See ya. Thanks for playing in our Pulse poll today.
Thank you.